Batting fifth and playing first base, number 5, Kyle Fitzgerald. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 18, Quentin Salma. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 10, Will Prater.
And what's the lineup for Sussex County in the opener of this weekend series?
Edwin Mateo leads things off playing right field for Chris Witcher's Miners. He's followed in the lineup by Juwan Harris in center and Gavin Stupinski at first base. The cleanup batter is Araj Anu, the designated hitter. Abraham Mao bats fifth at third base. Juan Santana plays second. And the bottom of the order is shortstop Willie Escala, catcher Elvis Lopez, and batting ninth, left fielder Will Zimmerman, with Mark Moclair doing the pitching today for Sussex County. Tim.
And on the flip side for the Boomers, who put 15 runs on the board last night, I say tick-tock, my friends. It's Boomer time. Yoshikawa into the wind in his first pitch of the ball game, and his first pitch of the season is over the out. 6:38 first pitch time. I'm wearing my glasses because part of me thought that my contacts were part of the problem I was having. Is Yoshikawa deals down low, so it's a little bit harder for me to see with the glasses. They're not as strong of a prescription as the contacts.
I'm the exact reverse, Tim. I can't see when I wear my contacts.
Edwin Mateo takes downstairs. 2-1 the count.
Which I am wearing today, by the way, so when I mistake the calls, you'll know why. Both of us are the blind leading the blind over here.
Mateo hitting .313 on the season, 2 homers, 5 driven in. The 2-1 from Yoshikawa is up the middle and into center field. Edwin Mateo leads off the ball game with a base hit for Sussex County, who has been a very good pitching team this year. Terry, how about that defense for Schaumburg? Juwan Harris, the batter. Runner at first, nobody out. Yoshikawa's first pitch locates. Good to see his, although he was tabbed as a rising star in the Arizona Fall League. His 0-1 to the plate, swing and a miss, nothing in 2. Kind of typical of pitchers from the East in that he throws everything, and he throws it all well right around the zone. So he's not going to overpower you with that fastball. It'll sit around 90, but he mixes it very well, and he commands his spots. 240 for Harris on the season. No homers, 8 knocked in as he takes downstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Obviously, as you've known, been on the rise in first place. Couple of top teams in their divisions.
Runner goes, pitches down, throw to second, not in time, stolen base. Out of this season. Had some visa issues getting into the country to start the year. Gavin Stupinski at the plate, takes the first pitch over the outside corner, strike 1. 248 for Stupinski, 5 homers, 24 driven in. Sussex County is far from your prototypical East Division team. And by East Division team, I mean a team that scores a bunch of runs. The 0-1 is bounced foul at the plate. They, in fact...
New Jersey's done it the exact opposite way.
0-2 pitch to Stupinski, foul back. 0-2 on Stupinski, the pitch coming. Up and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's pleasant if you ask me.
I would agree. Here's the 1-2. A little bit low, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Quite a day, from the pool to the hospital to the ballpark.
Wouldn't want it any other way, right? Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, another Raising Cane's Raising K strikeout for Charity. He goes, I'm trying to get a hold of Jamie and I can't reach him. I was like, okay, how can I help you? Araj Anu takes the first pitch away, ball 1. He's on the Boomers in 21 and 22. He's not with us. Shunpei Yoshikawa is off the inactive list today. The 1-0 is over the outside corner, 1-1 to Anu.
It's funny to get those calls to pull you back to reality, though, isn't it? Everybody's saying, hey, get well soon, hope you're doing well. Hey, who's your pitcher today?
298 for Anu in the season, 4 homers, 19 driven in. The 1-1 pitch is down in the dirt.
I wanted to make sure I was not promoting the wrong guys here.
Runner at second with 2 down, the 2-1. Little low ball 3. In fact, I had forgotten to turn it off. At one point, the doctor comes back in to talk to me. She's like, do I need to come back? I was like, oh no, I'm listening to a podcast, sorry. She's like, I just didn't want to start talking about medical records with you on the phone with somebody.
I want to hear about those medical records on the next episode.
Did they say ever meeting in Schaumburg between these teams? First pitch is over the inside corner, strike 1.
Joined league as opposed to 2 separate leagues, and it's kind of nice now that you've seen everybody.
The 0-1 is in the air towards right. Blake Berry over to his left, near the line, makes the catch as he slows down up against the railing, and the side is retired. It's 0-1 on the board. And the 0-1 pitch is rolled foul, so that was not on Schaumburg.
Slow down the progression of the pitch clock this year. They didn't enforce it for the first 15 games. And to me, that made sense because a lot of these players signed over the course of the season who have probably never played with it. And they'll all be having to adjust on the fly.
The 1-2 is down and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count. General manager Michael Larson was cracking jokes quite literally when I was up here earlier. 2-2 pitch is elevated in the air to center. Brett Milazzo angling over to his right. He'll settle underneath and let it drop into the glove. In text messages, and you were one of them, and Jacob was one of them, and Lexi was one of them. They're like, how do you set all this equipment up? As the first pitch to Willie Escala is fouled back 0-1.
Well, as I told you when you got here, I knew for sure I was going to get some audio onto the air. I also knew it was not going to be the way that you usually do it. It was going to be a little bit of a mess.
0-1 pitch is in for a strike. 0-2. The 2-strike offering from Yoshikawa. Cut on and missed. Strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Schaumburg. Another.
Has been getting ahead of just about every hitter.
They were targeting about 70 pitches. As Elvis Lopez takes the first pitch over the inside corner, strike and 3 strikeouts. Here's the 0-1 to Lopez. It is away. 1 ball, 1 strike. I got home at 5 a.m. Crashed for 3 hours hard. The 1-1 to the plate. Fouled into the screen 1-2, and then
apologies to the listeners of WRMN. I apologize on Tim's behalf for his substandard appearance on the radio today.
They were laughing. They're like, you could have canceled, you know. I'm like, I don't cancel. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, you didn't cancel tonight either.
Here's the 1-2. It's up high. Yoshikawa slips a bit on it. Last year, Austin Kaplan on the injured list occupies number 36 presently. As the 2-2 is popped up behind.
Well, unfortunately, you know, the hospitals are famous for that.
Swing and a miss by Lopez. 4 strikeouts for Yoshikawa. He's retired the last year at Wintrust Field. Will Zimmerman leading off for Sussex County. Schaumburg Yoshikawa throws. And the first pitch is lifted to left. Alec Craig chasing over to his right, calls off Will Prater in the center of the Sussex County bullpen to make the play. 1 pitch and 1 out for Yoshikawa. Guys coming off the inactive list that you'd want to tell your hitters, hey, we need to make him work to us. Edwin Mateo singled to begin the ball game. He looks at a first pitch strike from Yoshikawa, 0-1.
Yeah, especially if you know that he's going to be on a pitch limit.
The 0-1 to the plate, cut on and miss, 0-2, which.
While he was out.
0-2 to the plate, skipped foul towards the Schaumburg dugout. Chris Widger knows a heck of a lot more than I do, though, I'll say that. I've heard nothing but rave reviews of Chris Widger in the Frontier League. Yet another former big leaguer managing.
Yeah, you know, he's the classic big leaguer turned manager.
0-2 pitch, a rip and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Yoshikawa.
Spend a lot of time typically with the coaching staff, with the manager.
Juwan Harris takes the first pitch in, 1-0. Widger debuted in 1995 with the Mariners, played 23 games. Came up for good in 1997 with Montreal. The 1-0, down low, 2 balls, no strikes. And the Orioles.
I think of him as an expo.
2-0 pitch is high, ball 3.
Of course, he was with the White Sox when they won the World Series, so that's certainly a big part of his legacy as well. But when I think of Chris Widger, I think of that Expos uniform.
For what it's worth, his headshot on Baseball Reference is in an Expos jersey.
Well, I like it when I'm on the same page as Baseball Reference.
3-0 to Harris. Bell tie, strike 1. Do you
keep me in the 2000s or earlier? I can do pretty well.
3-1 pitch, flicked foul, first base side.
Playoff teams really well because the Frontier League season is over. I watch every playoff game, but if you didn't make the playoffs, I don't know who's on your roster.
3-2 is fouled back. Bobby Jones, who was the manager for Sussex County since 2016, took an off-the-field job to help supervise the New Jersey Jackals and their emergence to Hinchliffe Stadium. 3-2 to the plates, popped up. Into shallow right, Dawson is out, Barry is on. It's the right fielder who will settle underneath and make the catch to retire the side. Schaumburg Yoshikawa has retired 7 in a row.
Tim, make you work hard. while you're trying to rest and relax here after a day in the emergency room. Gavin Stupinski leads off the top of the fourth inning and takes strike one from Shunpei Yoshikawa, who's been very impressive over 3 innings in his return from the inactive list. He's retired 7 consecutive batters, 3 of them on strikes, and has allowed only 1 hit so far in today's game. Stupinski taps it right back to the mound. Yoshikawa gloves it, flips it over to first base, and has out number 1 in the top.
Opportunity to reacclimate himself a bit.
Araj Anu, the left-handed hitting DH, steps in and takes ball 1 from Yoshikawa. He's been efficient today in addition to being effective. There's a deep fly ball out to right field. Long way back to the warning track, and that ball is gone. First run of the ball game for Sussex County as they jump on the board on Araj Anu's solo homer.
As a Gatorade, greatly appreciated.
She hasn't brought me anything. I see where I stand around here as Mao takes a strike, 0-2.
Time when I realized it was going to be here, I didn't know if it would be too late for you to get here.
The 0-2 pitch to Mao, just off the outside corner, ball 1. Well, you made it. So all's well that ends well. 1 out, nobody on base in the top of the fourth inning. I guess it didn't end well necessarily for you. It's still ongoing. There's a line drive into right field. Barry takes a step over to his right and makes the grab for out number 2.
So
here's Juan Santana batting for the second time. Flew out to center field his first time up. Yoshikawa's first pitch is launched into deep right field. Barry chases it back just in front of the warning track. He's able to make a running grab to retire the side. A busy inning for Blake Barry out in right field as Sussex County has some of their hardest hit balls of innings tonight, as Willie Escala leads things off against Shunpei Yoshikawa, who's still in the ballgame, and fires strike 1.
Understandably so. I mean, with just over 50 pitches through his first 4 innings. And he's been very effective. Just the one knock against him, that home run.
Escala takes the ball low and in, 1-1.
I usually do a little bit, but I've done a lot more this year, is spend some time with the other team.
Escala pulls the bunt.
Part is coming. They've lost 6 in a row. They don't have a day off until July 3rd.
Fouled off left side, 2-2. And you know, when a team like that is struggling, their eyes light up when a travel team comes to town. Ground ball to the right side. Will be played by the second baseman, Chase Dawson. The throw to first just in time. Escala thought he had beaten it out, but he is like Trois Riviere, and you know that you haven't been winning ball games. The travel team comes in. You feel really good about it.
The Boomers certainly saw that as the Grays led in all 3 of those games.
0-1 on Lopez. He takes a breaker below the knees, 1-1.
Joliet's on top of Lake Erie, 3-0 in the 8th. 3 first-inning runs for the Slammers. Washington figured out a way to beat Cole Cook yesterday, Terry.
Well, they didn't do a whole lot offensively. Ground ball to the left side, a diving play made, and the long throw to first is not in time. Great effort from Alec Craig, but no chance to get Lopez hustling down the first base line. It's a 1-out infield single.
Good round of applause and appreciation of the effort.
So I guess the recipe for beating Cook is you just throw your best pitcher at him too, right?
Well, I was just going to say, I don't know if anybody's aware of Cole Cook and the kind of numbers that he has put together this year, but Cook is far and away, were it not for injury to Henry Omania, probably a front runner for the Frontier League Pitcher of the Year award.
There's a fly ball high in the air, left field. It's deep, going back to the warning track, and it's gone. Just in front of the scoreboard, Will Zimmerman takes one over the wall and ties this game up, a 2-run shot to make it 3-3 in the top of the 5th. A towering blast.